We have spoken on this show so many times about some of the things that went wrong that put us in the situation that we're in now with this crisis with Wall Street and our economy, the repeal of Glass-Steagall, which eventually allowed investment banks to act and get in cahoots with regular banks. We talked about the Commodity Futures Modernization Act, which essentially allowed those default tax swaps, which were really schemes where they were selling nothing but, well, certainly nothing for the American people and a lot for themselves on Wall Street. And we've also talked about regulators who never got anything done because they were too busy looking the other way while people were doing things because they wanted a job on Wall Street one day. That's what's been told to us from people on the inside, by regulators who were there, by experts, by economists. So with that on the table, yesterday I get this tweet from GOP whip Eric Cantor, and he suggests in the tweet, and that's why I wanted to have him on, that not Washington overregulation, and I'm just sitting here thinking, and I think a lot of y'all are as well, overregulation, isn't the problem under-regulation? So I asked him on the air, and we called him today if he'd be kind to come here and join us and take us through this, and he has. So allow me to introduce now the GOP whip, Congressman Eric Cantor, who I said yesterday was a good guy and would come on, and by golly, here he is. Congressman, thanks for being with us.
Very good to be with you.
Can you take us through this? Because I think the basic thinking out there is they didn't do enough regulating and let these scoundrels on Wall Street do all this stuff to us. And you're suggesting that we are over-regulating them?
Listen, Rick, everyone knows what the problem was that produced this great recession of '08. It was easy money, it was perverse government incentives, it was irresponsible government spending, combined with too much leverage on Wall Street and ill-conceived lending and borrowing on Main Street. I mean, that's what got us to where we are. And so we've got to
but it wasn't. But hold on. Well, hold on. You're saying the guys on Wall Street who did these default tax swaps, where they came up with a scheme where they were essentially taking their loans and then divvying them out and selling them in groups of other banks and investment groups around the world. We should have let them do that. Somebody should have regulated that, right?
Listen, it was way too much leverage on Wall Street and not enough.
What does that mean? I don't speak Wall Street talk. What does way too much leverage mean?
Because you know that the SEC, we saw some of these financial institutions leverage over 40-to-1. Nobody can do that and expect there not to be consequences.
So the SEC was asleep.
Basics.
But the SEC was asleep, right?
Listen, no question. There was perverse government incentives involved in what happened in '08. So
and the SEC is supposed to. And the SEC. Well, hold on. But the SEC is supposed to regulate, right?
Rick, you wanted to ask me about risk. Let me tell you about risk. I'll give it to you. The regulators didn't do their job. Congress had some perverse incentives in place. There was a lot of irresponsible government spending. Plenty of blame to go around.
Right.
All right. But at the end of the day, we know what makes America prosperous.
Right.
And that is the entrepreneurial spirit. You've got to have the ability to take risk and allow for the possibility of failure in order for there to be success. That's a capitalist system. We believe in free markets. That's how America has always been the land that provides more opportunity than anywhere else in the world. That's why, coupled with our transparent judiciary, we can attract global capital here. We are not going to be able to compete if somehow we're going to put Washington in charge to tell everyone the proper way to take risk. You can't do that in a free market system.
But are you suggesting that risk should be unbridled? That there should be no regulation of these guys?
Rick, did I say that?
No, you didn't. But you seem. Pardon me, but it seems like you're suggesting that maybe we've had too much, that we shouldn't be watchdogs over these guys. And I'm thinking we should be looking at them with a magnifying glass every day because I don't trust them.
Right now, what you've got is overreaction on the part of a lot of auditors working with the regulators on the streets of our communities, at the banks, the community banks, saying to banks, look, we don't want you to take any risk. You know, that we'll never get back to a growth-oriented posture in this country. We've got to be more prudent about this. We can't overreact right now. We've got to right the ship. And the way we do that is not by cranking up government spending, which seems to be the only plan coming out of the Obama White House and the Pelosi-Reid majorities here in Congress.
Yeah.
We've got to make sure that we empower investors to go about their normal calculation of risk, to go ahead and put capital to work so we can see jobs again for the American people.
For the record, before you leave us, you are also for regulation. Do you believe that some of the regulations, like Glass-Steagall and the Commodities Modernization Act, ended up hurting us and causing the situation we were in, as most economists have said on this show?
I am for smarter regulation. We have got very sophisticated players in the global financial arena. And when you see Congress passing the type of bill that was passed in the House of Representatives last week, this Consumer Financial Protection Agency, along with the other elements of that package coming out of Barney Frank's committee, that's a clear signal to entrepreneurs and investors that America will not be open for business, and we won't see jobs created again if that's how we're going to treat risk-based investment.
You know what I respect? I respect that you have a point of view, and we asked you to come on and explain it, and you've been darn good about doing so. Let's do this again. Congressman.
Thank you, Rick. We'll be back.
Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.